As we look forward to this year's NFL draft, it's always fun to kind of take a look back and see how we've done in years past. Welcome to Believe Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to another NFL Draft edition. More importantly, Buffalo Bills NFL Draft edition of Believers Talk. In this edition, we're gonna listen to some of your fan comments. One of the commenters asked if we could do a video on the previous Buffalo Bills NFL draft. So what we're going to do is take a look at the 2010s. It's going to be 9 years from 2010 to today of the Buffalo Bills NFL draft and see how they did. We'll go over some of the best picks, we'll go over some of the worst picks, and we'll see if you guys agree. Before we do it, however, guys, remember, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video, and again, leave a comment at the end. Who was your favorite draft pick since 2010? Who is your least favorite draft pick since 2010? We're going to go over that right now on Believers Talk. So we're going to start with 2010 and go all the way up to last year, 2018, to see how well we did. Obviously, there's going to be some bias towards the more recent draft, and because Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, and especially Sean McDermott, done a pretty decent job these first 2 years as head coach for the Buffalo Bills in the NFL draft. So let's go first to 2010, and guys, I'll be looking at these with you because a lot of these names I don't remember, so you have to excuse me. I'll be looking down, looking up. But in 2010, with the first round pick, which by the way was 9th overall, so remember that 9th overall pick because that's what we got this year. With the 9th overall pick, we pick up a pretty good running back for the Buffalo Bills in C.J. Spiller. C.J. Spiller, maybe not utilized like he should have been. He was a beast of an athlete and very fast, very fast. We utilized him well on special teams, I thought. But maybe we could use him more at running back, but the issue was we had Fred Jackson back there, and we all know how much everyone in Buffalo loves Fred X. So split some time, maybe didn't get all out of C.J. Spiller we could have, but still a pretty good running back. Maybe not worth a 9th overall, but I was a fan of C.J. Spiller, so let me know what you think. Were you a fan of C.J. Spiller? The next best guy in this draft class to me was in the 6th round, 178. We picked up Arthur Moats, defensive end from James Madison. Arthur Moats did spend some time with the Buffalo Bills, seen some time on the playing field as well. So pretty good to get that out of a 6th round pick. The rest of this draft, you got Marcus Easley, was pretty good at wide receiver for us at 107. Terrell Troop from UCF. So if UCF Jaguar, if you're watching this, tell me, what did you think of Terrell Troop? Probably before your time at UCF, but let me know if you know of him, defensive tackle from UCF. But those were the 2010 NFL draft picks for the Buffalo Bills, or some of them at least. Ed Wang, offensive tackle, was 140th from Vatech. And we did have, it looks like we had 8 picks or 9 picks in that draft, so I'm not going to go over all of them, but those were the ones that stuck out to me as some of the better ones from that NFL draft. Then you go to the 2011 NFL draft, and with the 3rd overall pick, that's right, 3rd overall pick, we select Marcell Dareus, defensive tackle from Alabama. Marcell Dareus did spend some good years in Buffalo. We do have to give credit where credit's due. I know he left kind of on a sour note, but he did have some good years there with Jim Schwartz for a little bit and with Rex Ryan. So we do have to give credit where credit is due. It just seemed like towards the end of his tenure in Buffalo, he just wasn't giving it his all. Shipped him off to Jacksonville. We got some compensation for him. So, he's still playing in the NFL. So he's not having a pretty good career there. Next on the list is a guy who Buffalo was sour towards until recently. That's cornerback Aaron Williams from Texas. Cornerback Aaron Williams, everyone thought did not play as hard as he could have the first few years of his NFL career in Buffalo. And he came out and admitted that and apologized to the Buffalo Bills, to their fans, and to the state of Buffalo, to the city of Buffalo for not giving his all his first few years. So happy to see that. Kind of mended some fences there. So good to see that. Denorius Searchy is another guy on this list. Defensive back, 100th overall from North Carolina. Johnny White, running back from North Carolina as well. Picked him up. Justin Rogers, cornerback from Richmond. Those are a few of the names in this NFL draft class. Moving on to the 2012 NFL draft. And with the 10th overall pick, who do we pick up? Cornerback Stephon Gilmore from South Carolina. Now with the hated New England Patriots, that evil empire, got another good one from us in Stephon Gilmore. First round, 10th overall pick. Again, had a couple good years with Buffalo. That's why he signed for such a high number when it came to free agency with New England. Had a lot of good years with Buffalo. Was happy that we picked him up. Wish we could have kept him, but the price tag was a little too high for us, and I actually agree with the Bills on that one. I still think that price tag is a lot for a corner, even if he is a shutdown corner. But we'll see what happens with Trey White, right? When that time comes, will we sign Trey White? I personally think Trey White is a little bit better than Stephon Gilmore, but there's still a lot of years left for Trey White to prove that he will consistently be better than Stephon Gilmore. With the second round pick, 41st overall, pick up Cordy Glenn, a guy who we just traded Cincinnati last season, guard from Georgia. Again, another guy, Cordy Glenn, had a couple good years with Buffalo. Really happy with how well he did for his time in Buffalo. Really missed him last year. We actually did when we lose Incognito, we lose Wood, and then we lose Cordy Glenn. Could have used him last season to solidify that guard position a little bit more. But that is what it is. I look at this list. I look at the 69th overall pick, TJ Graham, wide receiver from NC State. I look at that pick and I say a little bit of a bust. Now, you do say third round, so how much of a bust can you be? But TJ Graham did not perform the way we were hoping for, wide receiver from NC State. And then you look at the fourth round, Nigel Bradham, linebacker from Florida State. Had a few good years with Buffalo. We actually have a second, fifth round pick this year. Nope. That's Reggie Ragland, not Nigel Bradham. So, Nigel Bradham, outside linebacker. We did have a few good years with him. Looking down this list, no other names of note, really. John Potter, kicker from Western Michigan in the 7th round. Ron Brooks, cornerback from LSU in the 4th round. Some of the other names from the 2012 NFL Draft. You look at the 2013 NFL Draft as we keep moving on up to the east side, because we play on the East Coast. It's actually as close to Far East as it can be. But anyway, 2013, probably one of the worst drafts in Buffalo Bills history when we trade down, luckily, but and we get E.J. Manuel in the first round, 16th overall. E.J. Manuel, quarterback from Florida State, again, St. Louis, or now LA, but formerly the St. Louis Rams, trade up with us. We trade back to 16, and we pick up E.J. Manuel. This is the quarterback draft class that had no good quarterbacks. Shout out Geno Smith was the second one taken off the board. And unfortunately, none of them panned out in the NFL. But the Buffalo Bills suffer with that first round pick, E.J. Manuel. Second round, we get a guy that I liked. I still like him. He's over in LA now. But Robert Woods, wide receiver from USC. I really liked Robert Woods, 41st overall pick. Again, asking for a little bit too much money come free agency, but still wish we could have had someone like him. Again, great blocker downfield. I think he had a great attitude, great football mind. Really wish we would be able to keep him. Third round, we pick up a linebacker, Kiko Alonso. Plays 2 years before we trade him for LeSean McCoy. So maybe we should be thankful for Kiko Alonso. But right now, Buffalo Bills fans have a little sour taste in their mouth when it comes to the name Kiko Alonso. Trying to knock out Josh Allen week 17 last season. Didn't happen, and it's not going to happen this year either. So Kiko, wherever you're at, get ready to get burned again. In the third round, we also pick up Marcus Goodwin, wide receiver from Texas. Marcus Goodwin now in San Fran, just still beating guys deep because that's what he does. Fast guy, Olympic athlete, going out for some of the dashes. I don't know, maybe 100-yard dash, stuff like that, because that's how quick he was. And we always let him go try out for the Olympics and then come back. And he did have some good years in Buffalo, some good years with Tyrod Taylor. That connection wasn't that bad, but just unable to do the job on a consistent basis. But got paid over in San Fran, so good for him. Some other names on this list: Duke Williams, Jonathan Meeks, Dustin Hopkins, kicker. Some of you might remember him. And then Chris Gregg, tight end from Arkansas. That was the 2013 NFL Draft. Now we move forward to the 2014 NFL Draft. And this is the draft, I said the last draft is probably one of the worst. This is the draft that made me the unhappiest out of this past decade because we trade up. We trade to the number 4th overall spot, and we draft Sammy Watkins, wide receiver from Clemson. And it's no disrespect to Sammy Watkins. I know since then his career didn't take off the way we wanted it to, but no disrespect to Sammy Watkins. But when we talk about this draft, you're talking about a wide receiver heavy NFL draft. You're talking about Sammy Watkins. You're talking about Mike Evans. You're talking about Odell Beckham. You're talking about Jarvis Landry. These are some of the guys that are in this draft, and we trade up to get a wide receiver. won't matter who we got. I don't think I would have been happy. Now, obviously, if we got Odell or Jarvis Landry, it would have worked out a little bit better. And they, Odell definitely is worth moving up and get that 4th overall pick. But we traded away draft capital to get wide receiver and wide receiver heavy draft. I'm never a fan of that. If you're going to trade up, get a player that, there might only be 1 or 2 really good players out of that position. Don't worry about someone if there's decent depth behind it, right? If we would stay where we were at, which I believe was 8 or 9 this year, we could have got Mike Evans. We could have got Odell. We could have got Jarvis Landry. These are some names we could have got. All of them now are better than Sammy Watkins, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Second round, we get Cyrus Cohen DiGio, offensive tackle from Alabama. I would say this is a bust to some degree. Did not pan out for a second round pick, 44th overall. Third round, we get Preston Brown, who we just traded last year no, we just didn't pick up in free agency last year. Went over to Cincinnati. But 2 years ago, the 2017 season, he led the Buffalo Bills in tackles. So you got to be happy with the production from Preston Brown. Other than that, not too many names you might recall. 5th round, we picked up Cyril Richardson from Baylor, guard. And then you're talking about Central Henderson, offensive tackle from Miami. These are names I remember, but maybe you guys don't. But those were the draft picks. So now we move forward again to the 2015 NFL draft. I remember the 2015 NFL draft, now we don't have as many draft picks. We don't have a first-round pick because we traded up and gave away our first-round pick to get Sammy Watkins. So, again, just not a fan of giving up that kind of draft capital for wide receiver. So, in the second round, we do pick up Ronald Darby. Huge fan of Ronald Darby. Wish we never would have got rid of him. However, now he is with the Philadelphia Eagles. But I am a huge fan of Ronald Darby. Still wish we could have picked him up in free agency even. But that was what it was with the trade with the Eagles. Ended up working out okay for us as well. Third round, pick up John Miller, offensive guard. John Miller, decent offensive guard, but never panned out the way we wanted him to. He was a free agent this season. We did not pick him up. All these guys would have been free agents this year or before. Carlos Williams, running back, again, does not pan out the way we want him to. Injuries kind of disrupt him. The best name on this list after this, 6th round, pick up Nick O'Leary, tight end. Of course, Nick O'Leary from Florida State. Had a pretty decent run with the Buffalo Bills, especially for a 6th round pick. So now we move to the 2016 NFL Draft, and we pick up Shaq Sack Daddy Lawson in the 1st round, 19th overall. This will be the 4th year with the Buffalo Bills. Did not sign him to that 5th-year option yet, but he does have some room to improve and something to prove this season, as it is now. Pretty much a contract year, right? Next year he will be a free agent unless we do get that 5th-year option. And then the linebacker I was talking about earlier, Reggie Ragland, we trade him to Kansas City for an extra 5th for this year. Those are the 2 guys. Adolphus Washington, defensive end from Ohio State. Some of you may remember him. Cardell Jones, quarterback. Some of you may remember him. We did trade him away. Jonathan Williams, running back from Arkansas. We did not re-sign him. And then Colby Listenby, wide receiver from TCU. Kevin Seymour, cornerback from USC. That is the draft pick from 2016. So now I move to 2017, the 1st year of Sean McDermott's tenure. And you know what? It doesn't go that bad. Not that bad at all, young man, for your first NFL draft. In the 1st round, he picks up Trey White. Again, remember, we trade back, get an extra 1st, which we used last year. Get an extra 1st, and then we still get Tre'Davious White, in my opinion, snubbed of Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year 2 years ago, but we're trying to get over that. I just never will. And then in the 2nd round, we'll pick up Zay Jones. Obviously, the jury's still out on Zay. Some people wondering if he might be traded come NFL Draft Day. We'll see what happens. Later in the 2nd round, we do pick up Deion Dawkins, guard from Temple. Currently our starting tackle, so we look forward to seeing more from him. Obviously, again, a little bit more to prove. In the 5th round, we pick up probably one of the best 5th-round picks we've had in this decade, and that's Matt Milano, linebacker. The past 2 years, he's been crushing it, and we want to see continued progress from him. Young man, looking forward to him. And then in the 5th round, we pick up Nathan, as Rico would say over in Buffalo Fanatics, Nathan Peterman, and he's been worth a 5th round, maybe less. So Nathan Peterman, quarterback from Pittsburgh, and then we pick up Tanner Vallejo, who is also still on the Buffalo Bills, linebacker. So we have the whole linebacking core that we had last year coming back this season for another year. And then, of course, we go to last year's NFL draft. Talking about, of course, we need that quarterback position, 7th overall. We pick up Josh Allen, and of course, due to some free agency moves, some wheeling and dealing, able to move up again and get Tremaine Edmunds, outside linebacker from Virginia Tech. Love Tremaine Edmunds. I know a lot of you are big fans of Tremaine Edmunds, so looking forward to seeing what more we get from him. And then in the 3rd round, we don't have a 2nd round pick because we used all of our 2nd round capital to move up to get Josh Allen. 3rd round, we got Harrison Phillips, 96th pick overall. Again, a lot of you might remember Pancho Villa coming on stage to announce that pick. 4th round, 101 overall, we get Taron Johnson. 5th round, we get Wyatt Teller and Siren Neal. 6th round and 7th round, we double up on wide receivers, getting Ray McLeod and Austin Proehl. So those are your 2010 to 2018 NFL draft picks for the Buffalo Bills. Let me know which draft was your favorite. Which one was your least favorite? Again, I have a little bit of bias towards the most recent NFL drafts. I think Sean McDermott's done a great job so far in his first 2 years, and I really think we nailed last year's NFL draft. Even if Josh Allen doesn't pan out, talking about Tremaine Edmunds, talking about Harrison Phillips, talking about Taron Johnson, talking about Wyatt Teller, all pretty good draft picks last season. Worked out pretty well for us. Hopefully that continues. Let me know what your favorite NFL draft was of these past 8 or 9 years for the Buffalo Bills. Who was your favorite pick? Who was your least favorite pick? Let me know. Again, thank you for joining my Bleavers Talk. Remember, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I will see you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.